I thought I'd just ask you about your publishing initiative.
Sure.
When did it start? How did it start? What did you envision for it? You can just start with that.
It started in 2018. That's when we sort of officially had it on paper. So, interest as reliable copy is sort of in artist books, but also projects and also writing by artists. In 2019, first we launched Chinar's book, which was an online thing, downloadable and free and about demonetization. And after that, we launched Ravi's book, Flexing Muscles, this time in print. So, and we've got a few more projects coming up now for next year. We also did an exhibition early in the year in our apartment office.
No, I was sort of interested in, what was your background, as it were? What took you into publishing, and the challenges of it? Because on the one hand, it's very challenging, very compelling as a result, also to sort of engage with.
See, I mean, my background that way is as an artist. So it was just my own limitations with the form of the exhibition that sort of led me to publishing, because it functions in a different economy, it functions in a different circulation, and it has a different possibility of then finding an audience outside of galleries and exhibitions and things like that. And it's also a way, it doesn't have that durational aspect, right? So for me as an artist, it seemed, after coming to a lot of dead ends with doing exhibitions or encountering works in that format, publishing seemed like a way out. And I was heavily inspired by a lot of models, especially American models from the 60s and 70s, like Something Else Press, or like even things like the Xerox book, where they're talking about exhibitions in a publication.
Right.
But then also full-fledged models of artists running publishing houses as a different infrastructure, as a different way of circulating work. Like Something Else Press, Dick Higgins, he had this whole thing called the Great Bear Pamphlet series. And these you would buy for like $1, 50 cents, 25 cents in a supermarket. There's also something like Badlands Unlimited in New York. They started off with this digital platform, making ebooks and all of that. And again, artist run. There's a really great one in Cairo called Kaifata, and they publish only how-to books. And these tiny pocket-sized how-to books are fantastic. And I met these guys, Fehras Publishing Practices. They're based in Berlin, but they're 3 Syrians. And they're like an artist collective, but they're interested in how they can publish their work. So the premise of the collective is publishing. But for me personally, as an artist, I started off with photography. And although I've moved heavily away from it, I keep coming back to it in whatever way. I started off, I remember as a teenager when I first picked up a camera. At that time, it was very much about how do I take new pictures, but then it later became about how do I use the pictures that already exist, and sort of how do I understand more, because sometimes you don't need to take a picture anymore because there's a picture of it already. Often now, if I want a picture of outside, I'll just Google it and I'll find it, Right. So it became about understanding the images around us.
And so a little bit about that. I mean, you've decided to move from the digital to the analog. I find this fascinating. While there's such a tenor to move from the analog to the digital, from the print copy to the digital publication, and now you've kind of brought it back. What's the story there?
I mean, it's all about circulation at the end of the day, right? It's about how things move. So I think you never really replace how things move in the physical world with how things move in the digital world. And I'm not really that strong on this analog or digital divide. We did publish a book online, and that's purely like a digital publication. Chinar's, it's a photo book.
Right.
It's more of a lens-based photo book than Ravi's book. But Ravi's book somehow needed to be in print, needed to circulate, needed to be in English and Kannada, needed to be available at Kannada bookstores, needed to circulate in a different way. And that's what I'm excited about each project I do with Reliable Copy, because each one circulates in a different way. It's much easier if I say I'm going to make only paperback books that are a certain size and that'll fit into a bookshelf. But that's not what I'm interested in, really. But I'll try and do my best to make that paperback that I may go into every bookshelf I can find. But that's not, I'm more excited about the challenges of circulation that way, which is what I'm really interested in with my own work as well.